Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic crowd, and I've so looked forward to this auction on our magnificent property that we offer you here today. Before I do, I'll treat with the contract, and then I'll give you an opportunity to ask any questions you have, say something about the property, and then we'll find out who's going to be the successful purchaser of this mighty property. First of all, in the contract contains the general conditions, the standard printed form, and the particulars of sale. They read as follows. We, the vendor's agents, Noel Jones and Associates, sell on behalf of the Minister for Infrastructure of Adelaide all that land described in the attached copy certificate of title, volume 5147, folio 367, lot 102 on plan of subdivision FP 20989, the land together with any improvements known as 287 to 300 North Terrace, Adelaide, together with all fixtures and fittings, fixed floor coverings, light fittings, window furnishings, built-in furniture. Some of the chattels that are excluded, however, are all tenants' fittings, all plant equipment, stock in trade, all personal effects and chattels. For a price to be determined here today, payable by a deposit of 10% on the signing hereof, and the balance to be paid 60 days from today's date, and we sell today subject to an existing tenancy. Please note on the title the following easements. The land is subject to rights of way over the landmark BZ, DZ and AZ, together with free and unrestricted right-of-way over land marked BZ, DZ and CZ, all are situated to the southwestern corner of the allotment, and no doubt a number of you have studied that because you've requested our documents, our contracts. The Section 32, ladies and gentlemen, and that includes the zoning, which is CA 16 East End Precinct, City of Adelaide. It is on the state, and I understand, the Federal Heritage Register. A development approval has been granted for the current restoration works and service upgrade to Ayers House, which you've seen underway, and which is, under the auspices of the National Trust, be completed prior to settlement. The services are all connected, naturally. The title, I've mentioned those easements that are on it. The land is an irregular allotment of land with a frontage of 89.68 metres, magnificent breadth to North Terrace, and an overall mass of approximately 6,418 square metres, that is in the old lineal, 69,053 square feet, or if you like, 1.57 acres of some of the finest land in Adelaide. The tenancy schedule shows the tenant, Ayers and Graces Proprietary Limited, have a 5-year lease until the 1st of July 2003 with a 5-year option and annual 5% reviews. Now, the first-year rental was $240,000 and will be on the 1st of the 7th of this year, only a few weeks after the settlement we call for. It will run up to $277,830 per annum with the annual review. So keep that in mind in your bidding. And, of course, the tenants are expected to pay all outgoings. All outgoings are paid by the lessee except for the land tax. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the documentation. We call for 10% deposit, the balance in 60 days. My vendors are here to sell the property. Have you got any questions that I could answer that would help you in your bidding? Any questions at all? Well, I'll take them one at a time if you like. What about you, sir? You're at the back. Well, I'm not going to have a dispute over it. I'll answer them all. Go for your life, sir. I nominate you to ask the first question.
Mr. Auctioneer, it's my understanding that under the heritage of the City of Adelaide that such listed properties as Ayers House, the public, if they request, cannot be denied access to the property. Would that be correct?
No, that's not so, sir. And in fact, right throughout Victoria and New South Wales and Tasmania and Adelaide, South Australia, heritage listings don't give you a ready access to the public. The public can't access your property because of a heritage listing. A heritage listing is placed on the property so that indeed there are restrictions on what improvements you may do to it. But I thank you for your question. Sir.
Thank you. As there's a restaurant leased on part of the property, if I were to buy Ayers House, would that entitle me to free meals?
If you would, no, it won't, sir, because just like if you are an investor, sir, I know you look like a man of great substance. You would have an investment property. Does it entitle you to walk in and have a free meal in the flat that you let? No, sir. When a tenant owns a property, they have exclusive rights to that property. But I thank you for your question. He might give you a free meal if you drop his rental. Yes, sir. Oh, well, I'm glad. You're both at ease now. Any further questions, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not going to treat this auction lightly, ladies and gentlemen, and I thank you for your questions. I don't want you concerned before you make your bidding. All right, Ayers House. I'd like to say a few words about the property, of course. But I'm not going to give you chapter and verse about the house and the refurbishments. I'm not going to go through room by room. You are investors. You're not buying this property because of a specific room in the property. You're buying this property because it has to represent a sound investment. You want to know what the bottom line is. But in doing that, I'm reminded my son came through the property, one of my sons, and he said to me, Dad, he said, you can feel the past. I'm going to refer to that later. You can feel the past. And so I'd like to just share with you a few brief notes about the history, the past of this property. Ayers House, 1846, it was Paxton's College. It was only a 5-room brick house. Sir Henry Ayers, a leading public figure, 5 times Premier of South Australia, and his family took over and possession of the property in 1885. He died in 1897. And with the help of architect George Kingston, he completely rebuilt and extended all that was to produce a magnificent bluestone mansion of more than 20 principal rooms on 3 levels, basement, ground and second story. And the parties, the social events, the grand receptions that were held because of his standing in the colonial days of South Australia made the property a landmark property in his time. Unfortunately, upon his death in 1897, it stood vacant for 20 years. It was used as a rehabilitation centre for returned servicemen during the First World War. And then the government bought it in 1926, again for public use, to accommodate the Royal Adelaide Hospital nurses. And so it continued. But up in 1972-73, the government renovated, redeveloped, re-landscaped the property as headquarters for the National Trust and as a restaurant complex. Today it stands as you see it. A restaurant complex, a magnificent dining area, also the brasserie and the winery area, and they're your tenant. This property is really not realising its full potential. You can buy it today on the existing lease, but there is no lease with the National Trust, and when you take possession of the property subject to the existing tenancy, you will look to what you will do with the rest of the property that is housing the National Trust's interest at the moment. You may enter into a lease with them, you may change the use of it for someone else and enter into a lease, so it is not realising its full potential, and yet I'm confident you'll bid on it today just on the basis of the return it gives you now. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't be more enthusiastic about this as a prime investment in Adelaide, where they're spending over $800 million. $800 million on the Northern Terrace, the finest precinct recognised by the people throughout South Australia, the finest precinct in the whole of South Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in your hands. Would someone like to start me with a bid on Ayers House? $2 million Australian dollars. $2 million Australian. I was quoting 2.5. Thank you for your start, sir. In excess of 2.5. So I will bid on behalf of the vendor the next bid to bring us up closer to that level. I'll make it easy. 2.4, that's my bid. At 2.4 now. At 2.4, and I'll take $100,000 rises in the first instance. At 2.4, can I say 2.5? At 2.5, thank you, sir. At 2.5, do you think we'll go with one bid, sir? Would you give me 100? At 2.5, 2.6 here. 2.6, the couple up there. At 2.6 against you. Back in, sir, at 2.7. At 2.7 now. At 2.7, yes! At 2.8, someone round me off at 3. At 3 I have. Good bid. At 300 I'm now bid. I'm fairly bid at 300. At 300, pardon. Yes, I'll take you 50. At 350, 3 million and 50, 100. 100. 3 million, 100, 100, take 50s, 50s back in at 150. At 150, 150 looking for 2. At 2, at 2. At 2 I have now. Take 50 again. At 50 I have new bidder. At 50, at 250. At 250 looking for 3. At 250 I have now. At 250, at 250, you won't miss it for that. At 3. At 3 I have now, sir. Back with me. At 3. Pardon? No, no, sir, I'm at 250 and in 50s. I'm sorry. At 250, I'm stuck. There's the 50. At 3, but I'll take 25. That'll help. At 325. 325 and I'll take 25. I've got plenty of time. At 325. Pardon? 3.4. You know that's 3.4 million. 3.4. 3.4 million, sir? I want to confirm that. 3.4 million. 3.4 million. Thank you for your bid, sir. Yes?
Please withdraw that bid.
I will. At 3.4. I will. At 3.25. Will you confirm your bid, sir? At 3.25. At 3.25. I've just got to give you a warning, sir. At 3.25. If you further bid and you withdraw again, I will not allow it. I thank you very much. At 3.25. At 3.25, I'm here to protect the interests of my vendor. At 3.25, 3.50. At 3.50 now, and take 2.5 anywhere. At 3.50. At 3.50 now, 25 anywhere. At 3.50. At 3.50. At 3.50, 3.75. Good bid. At 3.75. At 3.75 now. Someone round me off at 3,400,000. At 3.375. At 3,375,000. Can I say 400? At 400 now. At 400, back in. At 400. At 400, I'm taking 25. Yes, I will. At 341. 410. 410, 420. 420, 420. Quick bid's a good bid. At 420, 430. 430 round me off at 450 if you like, sir. Could be a good bid. I'll take 10s if you'd rather. At 450, too late. At 450, at 450, still take your 10. At 460, at 460, what about you, sir? At 460, don't miss it for 10. At 470, at 470, 480. At 480 now. At 480, I'll take 10s, but would someone round me off at 3,500,000? Be bold! Be bold. At 3,480,000 I have. I'll take 10. At 3,480,000. I have to remind you, sir. At 3,480,000, I'm not quite at a price at which I can sell. You hold the bid, sir. At 3,480,000. But I give you fair warning. I'm very close to a price at which I can sell, and if I am to pass the property in, you, sir, will have the first right of refusal at the reserve price. At 3,480,000, now you must bid. If you want it knocked down to you, or if you want that exclusive right. At 3,480,000. At 480, looking for 490 anywhere. First call. Make no mistake, I'm not referring. I have my instructions. Second call. Would you miss it for 10, sir? I'll take 5 if it can help you, sir, to get back in the bidding. Or you, sir, I'll take 5. 480. Third and final call. Just confirm your bid, sir. $3,480,000. If there's no further bidding, I'm going to pass it in, and you'll have first right of refusal. If we fail to sell it to that bidder, then we will deal with anyone else. All done! All finished? Just want to be sure, sir. Are you out of bidding? Are you finished? Second call. 3,480. You, sir? Thank you for your bidding. All right, I won't hold you any longer. At $3,480,000, third and final call. All done? All finished? All silent? And ladies and gentlemen, my instructions are quite clear. I'm going to pass the property into you, sir, at $3,480,000. We'll treat with you in the first instance. If the property remains unsold, we'll then treat with any other interested parties. Pardon? I beg your pardon, sir. 3.5. Are you in accord with your suggestion? Then, sir, I've got to reopen the bidding. I have a genuine bid at $3,500,000, but I'll still give you a chance at 10. At $3,500,000, and make no mistake, if there's no further bidding, I'm going to sell it to you, sir. At $3,500,000. At $3,500,000, once, twice. Third and final call. All done. All finished. Looks like you got it. All silent. Sold to the couple here on the right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention, your attendance, your spirit of bidding, and I bet you I can't find you another one. Sorry, sir. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.